Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be creating these jungle summer inspired nails. Here are the inspiration photos. Without further ado, let's get started. I've already pushed back and removed my cuticles off camera. Now I'm just lightly buffing the surface of my natural nails to help the gel products adhere better. Next, I'll wipe away all the dust and cleanse my nails to remove any natural oils, making sure I have a clean surface to work on. So for this set, I'll be using full cover stiletto nail tips with the Gel X method. These are brand new nail tips, as you can probably tell. So I'll start by sizing each nail tip, making sure it fits perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. If you're in between sizes, always choose the larger one. A tip that's too small is more likely to lift or pop off. A few of the nail tips need a little filing around the cuticle area for a better fit, so I will file those. Now that they're prepped, I'm applying my Jello Jello peel-off base coat. Since it's a peel-off base, removal will be much easier. If you want longer lasting nails, you can use a regular base coat instead. So I'll cure the base coat for 30 seconds. To apply the nail tips, I'm using a rubber gel peel-off base. It's nice and thick, which helps prevent flooding around the cuticles when applying them. I have my portable nail lamp beside me to flash cure each nail in place. It only secures the nail tip temporarily, so once all the nail tips are applied, I'll fully cure them in my full-size nail lamp. I like applying a generous amount of rubber gel so it completely covers my natural nail bed. I'm still perfecting this part and usually eyeball how much product I need. And I gently press the nail tip down from the cuticle area towards the free edge until the gel spreads evenly underneath. I cured this nail off camera, so I apologize for missing that part. If you notice any air bubbles, you'll need to apply more gel before curing. You want the underside of the nail tip to be completely covered. I'll continue applying the remaining nail tips. Now that they're all on, I'll file and refine the shape to make everything nice and crisp. Next, I'm lightly buffing the surface of the tips so the gel polish adheres better and lasts longer. After that, I'm wiping away all the dust, making sure to clean thoroughly around the cuticle area. Now it's time for the nail art. Every nail will have a different design per the inspo pics. So starting with my thumb, I'm applying the sheer nude gel from Elisa as the base color. It's very transparent, which makes it perfect for layering. Once that's cured, I'm using this magenta gel polish, although it leans more towards pink, and I'm going to use that to create an aura effect with a sponge. I'm dabbing the color onto the nail in circular motions, curing between each layer. With every layer, I make the circle slightly smaller so the center becomes more concentrated. A little tip, it speeds up the process if you paint the center directly with the gel polish brush first, and then just blend the edges outwards with an ombre brush. Next, I'm using non-stick solid gel to sculpt some 3D flowers. I've been obsessed with making these all summer. So I'm skipping up a bead with my cuticle pusher. Just a quick note, I always sanitize my cuticle pusher before using it on my cuticles. I don't want to develop any allergies. I roll the solid gel into smooth, even balls using a silicone tool, which makes shaping much easier. Then I place 5 beads onto the nail in a flower formation. Using the pointed end of my silicone tool, I press it into the center of each bead, pushing the gel outward to create each petal. Then I just refine the sides until I'm happy with the shape. You can cure each petal individually if you like, but I prefer curing everything at once. That way, if I don't like the shape of a petal, I can still adjust it before curing. Once the flower is cured, I'm lightly brushing white gel polish from Vanillisa over the petals. I actually learned this trick from another nail tech. Applying the color with a light hand helps keep all the details of the flowers instead of flooding and just concealing the details of the flower. After curing, I'm adding more of that magenta gel to the center with a sponge, curing between each layer. Then I'm painting delicate veins using the same shade. I originally tried using a brighter hot pink, but I preferred the softer look of the magenta instead. At this point, I'm gonna apply Vanillisa top coat because I'm gonna be taking a quick lunch break. This just keeps dust and everything else from sticking to the nails while I'm making my lunch. So good news, the break only lasts a second for you guys. I also ended up adding a small flower near the free edge. I thought that just the one flower was lonesome. Moving on to my index finger, I'm creating a green tortoise shell design. Since I don't have jelly green gel polish, I'm mixing regular green gel with top coat to create a translucent effect. Once it's fully mixed, I'm apply one coat and cure it. So now if you have blooming gel, you can use that to create the tortoise shell effect. I don't, so I'm going to be using top coat instead, which gives a very similar result. So I'm applying a thin layer but leaving it uncured. I've placed some of the green gel onto my palette so it's easier to pick up with my dotting tool. Then I'm placing just random blobs of gel onto the uncured top coat and just letting them naturally spread, and it actually almost reminds me of a lava lamp. Once I'm happy with that, I'll cure it. I'll come back to this nail later to add a 3D orchid. For now, I'm just moving on to my middle finger. So I'm using this dark gold cat eye from Gayo. Whenever you're working with cat eye polish, just make sure you have enough product so there's plenty of magnetic particles to create a strong effect. So I'm moving the magnet in circular motions around the nail to pull all the shimmer towards the center. Once it's cured, the magnetic effect is locked in place. You can't undo it. Now I'm painting tiger stripes around the edges using black gel. So tiger stripes don't have to be perfect. I try to keep both sides somewhat symmetrical by creating uneven diagonal lines that resemble little V shapes. Some stripes are going to be thin, some are thicker. And as I move towards the cuticle and free edge, I make the stripes slightly longer. And then I'll just cure that for 60 seconds. For my ring finger, I'm creating a tiger print French tip. I'm starting with the same sheer nude gel from Elisa that I used on my thumb. Once it's cured, I'm using white gel polish from Vanillisa to create the French tip. The smile line will start at the free edge of my natural nail, so it won't be visible. I like using the A method first, then just slowly round the smile line before filling in the rest of the French tip. After curing, I'm creating an orange ombre using this pumpkin colored gel from Model Ones. For the first layer, I gently dab the color on with a sponge, and it'll leave like a faint layer since the sponge will absorb it. Then I add more gel and just ever so lightly just dab the sponge to create an ombre effect like so. After curing, I'm painting random tiger stripes and a few dots with black gel. Later, I'll be adding some gold chains along the smile line. Onto my pinky nail, I'm going to apply 2 coats of white gel and curing each for 60 seconds. So make sure to cure the sides thoroughly as well, otherwise the gel can wrinkle if it's removed from the lamp too soon. Now I'm adding a combination of tiger print and leopard print. The tiger stripes are painted randomly, and for the leopard print, I just create thick C shapes along with a few scattered dots. They don't need to be perfect, just place them wherever they look best. Now I'm returning to my index finger to create the 3D orchid. Again, I'm rolling solid gel into small balls. Each petal is flattened and just pinched into like a soft V shape with the outer part of the petal round. For the center of the orchid, I flatten another bead and just roll it into a small cone before placing it in the middle, and I cure this piece immediately to keep its shape. Now I'm jumping back to my pinky. I know I'm bouncing around a bit, but I'm applying top coat because I want to create a blooming flower effect. So using that same magenta gel, I place 5 dots in a flower pattern and allow them to spread naturally. Don't wait too long before curing or the petals will continue spreading until they blend together and you won't be able to tell what it is. To paint the orchid, I'm covering the entire flower with hot pink gel. Next, I'll apply a second coat using a fine thin brush to make sure every section is evenly covered. I'm also adding a touch of yellow and just blending it softly into the pink. Once everything is cured, it's time to add some bling. Just like I mentioned earlier, I'm placing a gold chain along the French tip on my ring finger. I'm using rhinestone glue gel to secure the chain and just trimming away the excess. After cleaning up any extra glue, I apply more glue gel underneath and begin placing gold caviar beads. I start with the largest beads, then just use smaller ones as it goes up. Then I add another chain between them to fill in the gap. Once it's cured, I'm adding gold caviar beads to the center of the flowers on my thumb and near the cuticle. I'll also place gold caviar beads in the center of the flower on my pinky. Finally, I'm applying top coat over every nail, making sure to seal every edge and detail. And I'll cure the top coat for 60 seconds. And here's the finished set. I absolutely love how this extravagant summer nail set turned out. My favorite nail has to be the gold cat eye with the tiger print. I even did my right hand. Anyways, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.